it's Silver, and I'm here today to talk to you about the cocktail party effect and how that impacts people living with DID or OCD. If you aren't already familiar with the cocktail party effect, it's a broad term that covers a larger range of phenomena surrounding selective attention. But specifically today, we're going to focus on one of the most well-known examples. It's when you are at a cocktail party or any sort of social function or gathering, and there's a whole bunch of people in the room having multiple different small conversations, and you're focusing on a conversation with your dear friend and everything else you're not really paying attention to. But then someone across the room in their conversation says your name, and you are both instantly aware that they said your name, even though you were paying no attention to their conversation whatsoever, and you're curious to see why they were talking about you. This is a demonstration of how we might not be paying attention to what's going around us and focusing on one small little thing, but when something like our name, which is an identifier to grab our attention and call us out, is used, our brain automatically picks up on it, registers that information, deems it as important, and then we go to pay attention to it and engage with whoever said our name. So how does this exactly apply to people with DID or OCD, and why am I talking about this? Well, the inspiration for this video was based on this meme, which, if anyone knows who made it, please put a comment and I will link them. I had to go back through an old Discord server that I'm inactive in to go find this image again. But regardless, this meme encapsulates this very common phenomena of when whoever is fronting thinks of another alter, say Mia for example, and Mia suddenly comes closer to the front and starts interacting with you. You were thinking of an alter and poof, suddenly they were there. And what's happening here is the cocktail party effect that we just discussed. Mia could have been hanging out far from the front, just back in the headspace, not paying attention to what's going on outside the body. But when whoever is fronting thinks about Mia or encounters something that reminds them of Mia and goes, "Oh, that's really nice, I was talking to Mia the other day," Mia in the back of the headspace not paying attention to anything, hears her name, registers that it's her name, and then just like the way we turn to someone else to talk to them about why they said our name and engage with them at the cocktail party, Mia comes closer to the front to see why she's being talked about and if anyone needs her for anything. In this way, the external world around someone and the inner dynamics of systems are susceptible to that selective attention that we talked about. Alters, even when they're in the back not paying attention to anything, their section of the consciousness will register whenever they're being talked about, and they'll want to come engage with whatever's happening that involves them. There's a second reason why some people might have a similar experience to thinking about an alter and then suddenly they're there, and this is because as we just move around in our daily life, sometimes we're not actively engaging with who's right next to us. So I might be super engaged with class and engaged with the content and might not notice that like Mia and Lorianne are hanging out right here in the background. But something might happen in the lesson that reminds me of Mia, and I go, "Oh, Mia!" And as I'm reminded in the moment that my system exists, I do an automatic check-in of like, "Oh, who's around right now?" And then Mia is right there. So what sometimes happens is that you're just not aware of who's there, and then you see something that references someone, and then you check to see if they're around, and they're there. And you just weren't aware of it because you were so focused on something else in the moment. So I hope this has been an informational topic for you guys. I know this has created some anxiety around validity in the community, and I just wanted to explain what was going on so you guys can really just feel comfortable with that. I hope everyone takes something away from this, and as always, I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful day.